Hey everybody, welcome back to Big TV. Today I'm doing the predicted 11 for our game tonight against Atletico Ottawa in the Champions Cup. Hey everybody, I'm Tyler. Thank you for tuning into Big TV once again. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest in Nashville fan content. Now, today's game is a difficult one to predict. I'm going to do a combination of what I think we know and also what I'd like to see. It's difficult until you've seen the first game played under the new system. I mean, we haven't even been able to see the final game in preseason. So we're all kind of guessing, we're kind of predicting what might happen. And I'm sort of digging in deep to the Twitter to see what happened before and what's been played in preseason and what the lineups have been to try and get a sort of educated guess on what the lineup's going to be. But I can't wait to see Nashville play again. And then, of course, we have the New England Revolution game on Saturday as well, by which time I think we'll start to see and start to know what's going on. But for now, bit of guessing, a bit of guesswork, a bit of detective work to work out what this 11 might be, and also a bit of what I'd like to see as well. In terms of what we know, or what we're sort of predicting we know, there are a few players that were rested from the game against Lexington on Saturday, and of course it's only a short break between the Saturday game and this game in Canada tonight. The team were travelling yesterday, so they've needed that time. So you would expect the players that were rested are going to be starting, and then we've got some other players to predict and guess where they might fit in the system and so on. So I'll dive in now. So this lineup here on the screen is the final 11 that started from last season, I believe. The only thing I've done is change the shape. So I think we're going to play in a 4-2-3-1 type shape in attack. It might actually be that we play that in defense. I'm not sure at the minute, but it has been mentioned. It has been seen. If you look at the images from the Lexington game, there are moments in transition where you can sort of look at it and see a sort of 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 shape with the deep pivot of Eddie and Yazbek. And I'm expecting we're going to carry on with that same shape, and that's going to be sort of bedrock and a main part of what we do. Of course, we were playing more of a 4-2-2 or a 4-2-2-2 last season, so that's going to be a bit of a difference, but I do think we will see that shape at points too. In modern football, modern soccer, there's a lot of transition and changing shape between your attack and defense rather than just being in one shape through the whole game. And I think it makes it easier in terms of those phases and being more dynamic, having players that adapt and change as they move up the pitch. I think it makes sense. So, as I say, this was the lineup from the end of last season. I'm going to switch out our first choice, which is goalkeeper. I think we're going to see Brian Schwacke in here. He has been getting almost all of the minutes in preseason. He's way better with the ball at his feet, and I think that's what this system is geared to. So I think that's why we're going to see him play. It's a big chance for him, and he lives in this building on my floor, so I am fully behind supporting him, and hoping he does his best. He's a very nice guy. Next, Andy Nahar at right back. I don't think we're going to see. I'm having a look through different preseason 11s as well, and I think we're going to see someone else at that right fullback position. And I'd rather rest Andy. I'd rather get him into the game slowly this season, especially with his terrible injury record. He was good last season in terms of his injuries, best I think he's had, but he's had a really bad injury record throughout his career. A cold night in Canada isn't the way I want this to start for him. So we've got a few options here. We've got kind of Josh Bauer. We've got Jordan Knight. That's pretty much it, to be honest with you, for now. Of course, we have our new boy, Reed Baker Whiting, but he's not yet been announced. He's not going to be in the squad or anything like that. So I think we might see that maybe on Wednesday announced. So let's look at this. I'm expecting probably a Jordan Knight, or will it be a Bauer Thomas Williams? Sorry, a Bauer Mayer Thomas Williams Knight on the left. I'm going to go with that. I think that was our last preseason 11 in Florida, and I think that might be what we see. So let's go with Bauer out here, Bauer on that right-hand side. Zimmerman, of course, has left the club, so he's no longer going to be there. We're going to go Mayer, and then I think we're going to go to Thomas Williams. So Thomas Williams was rested. He's a player that was rested for that end of the Lexington game. He didn't play, actually. He just came out for the training afterwards. Bauer, the same. He was rested entirely, and he played there a lot last season, of course. I think with Reed Baker Whiting coming in, that means he will definitely be more of a central option. Maybe pushes Thomas Williams out. And we've got quite a good depth in the central defensive position. I actually think we have way too many defenders, being real, in the squad. So yeah, let's go Bauer on the right. Solid. He's experienced. We need that. Mayer, again, the same, experienced. Williams is new and younger, but he's left-sided, and I think he's a very direct Walezi kind of replacement, so that's cool, fits the system. Then I am going to put Jordan Knight here on the left-hand side. He's been playing a lot at fullback in our pre-season. I think he's a great option. He looked great against Aston Villa. He's always looked great when he's come on to me. He looks like I think he's got the athletic prowess for sure. Decent touch. I think he can go a long way and be a more important part of the squad. With the Reed Baker Whiting situation, I hope he still gets some playing time. I think we may have to maybe send someone out on loan to get a bit more experience elsewhere. And I just hope it's not him. Okay, moving into this double pivot in midfield. I don't think we're going to see Tagseth. I think we're going to see Corcoran on that left-hand side. And I think we're going to see Brian Acosta. Both of those players, again, were rested over the weekend. So I think that's likely. Acosta, of course, brings that experience. He's very solid. He is a little bit slower with the ball, but I think that can be important in our transition. I think with this amount of youth and this youth and energy, he's going to help with that transition, hold the ball, carry the ball forward, and allow us to transition in a really nice, controlled way. His experience is going to be important there, especially next to Corcoran, who's had some good moments, some good assists in pre-season. He's looked like he's really developing as a player. I'm excited to see him develop this season. He's going to be getting a lot more rotation in game time, especially with our sort of much more reduced numbers in terms of that pivot in midfield. Wheel is the other player that was rested, so I think he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start here in the centre. I think he's going to start out on either the left or the right, and I'm not really sure. I'm going to put him on the left for now. It's hard to tell. He's been playing all over the place, I believe, in pre-season. Tagseth, I don't think will be starting on the right wing, although I think in pre-season last year he did play on the right wing at one point, or he was just everywhere. I was there at the Lexington game; it was hard to tell, but it felt like he was playing out on that right wing. I think we're going to see Warren Madrigal. I think the two players that throughout pre-season have always played together are Madrigal and Rubens Pasillas, so I think they're going to be in the lineup. The Surridge, Espinosa, Mukhtar lineup have almost always played together. And the Madrigal, Rubens Pasillas lineup have almost always played together too. Now, that feels a little bit unusual to me. I mean, the team hasn't really bedded in, but I think that means I'd rather see these guys play together because they've been playing together than have this sort of hybrid of players that effectively haven't played many minutes at all together in pre-season. So we'll see. So that means in the 10, I think we might see Brunet. Wow, he's not even on here. I'd like to see Charles-Emile Brunet in there. That would be the man I think will be getting the game time. He's got a lot of game time in the lineups. So what am I going to do? Instead of that, I'm going to put... I think we will see Brunet start there, but if we don't, I think it'll be Kasim. So I'm going to put Kasim in there. Crazy. Didn't even check before we started this video, but he'll be there in a couple of weeks' time, I'm sure, once they update it. Now he's signed his contract. I think we might see Charles-Emile Brunet starting there, especially as he's Canadian, going home, chance to impress, chance to do something. But if not, I think we'll see Kasim. I think it's going to be fairly fluid in that midfield, that attacking midfield between Madrigal, Kasim, and Wheel. I mean, Wheel could be on the right, Kasim could be on the left, Madrigal could be in the hole behind. Not really sure, but those are all options that I think are totally valid and we may possibly see. And then up top, I think we're going to see Rubens Pasillas starting. Canadian, I think he wants to go out there and impress, no doubt. And he is the player that when Madrigal's played, they both played together. I think it's likely that we're going to see that again in this game. I think there's a good opportunity for him to go out and do something here. It's a kind of game that maybe you would have seen Teal Bunbury play, right? And so putting Pasillas there makes sense to me. It's another opportunity to use him. Chance to get him bedded in. Chance to get him getting goals. I really want to see a great season from him this season. I think he's going to have a big role to play. And if he can start getting a few goals, it just takes the pressure off Sam Surridge, whilst at the same time putting pressure on Sam Surridge to want to keep performing and keep his place. So competition up in the striking position is really important. And at least having two players, of course, you've got Hani as well, can play there. Having players there that can do a great job and actually contribute is important. Of course, Teal, great player for the club historically, but not had the best 18 months before he left. I don't think he actually scored at all. A player that I admired, but probably didn't do the job for us that we needed towards those last 18 months. So some new legs, some fresh legs. Pasillas got 17 goals last season at Tampa Bay Rowdies, so a lot to come from him. He has that capability, and can he step up to this level? we'll see. But I think Ottawa should be around the same level as what he was playing at, so he should be able to carry on, get a couple of goals, get some confidence, and hopefully start the season off on the right foot. So there we go. That's what I think will be our predicted 11. There's a bit of detective work in there. It's kind of the same as our Florida lineup that we finished with, but I do think there's a nice balance of experience and energy, a good chance for some of these players to stake a claim, to really make a statement and bed in against competitive opposition. Having the Bowers, the Mayers, the Acostas, Wheels in there to give some experience and solidity to this team and hopefully manage the game. The most important thing is that we manage this game, whether we are 1-0 up and we just need to win that first tie, or if we are 3 or 4 ahead and we do need to just shut up shop and be a little bit more defensive and manage and control the game. I think the players we have on this starting 11 will be able to do that, and hopefully we're going to get the win tonight. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button, and if you can, share as well. Sharing is massive for this platform right now to help it grow, and it enables me to go ahead and get more fans on, do much more interesting and exciting shows the bigger we get and the quicker we get there. So I appreciate that so much. We're going to get the win tonight, and let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.